Hey guys, we got a lot to talk about today, a lot happening on an energetic level, but ultimately what everything is boiling down to today is energy coming through that is helping us to move on from things that have hurt us in the past, from old wounds, from old states of victimhood that have defined us, and as a result of that, kind of limited our ability to grow. Okay, that phase of life is over, and we are about to emerge from cocoons in this whole new redefined form and version of ourselves, heading towards this new moon that we have coming up in the sign of Cancer. But for today, we have a lot of energy coming through that is putting an emphasis both on the past and on all the growth opportunities and all the potential for the future. It just is up to us if we are finally ready to come to a point of moving on from these states that have defined us in the past and open up to essentially endless possibilities of what the future can bring us when we step into this new version of ourselves aligned with our authentic truth. Lots of energy to talk about today, you guys. Sun square Chiron exactly, Mercury entering Leo. We have 4 planets 0 degrees, all basically in aspect to one another. The nodes of the moon really caught up in the mix today as well. Let's get into it, you guys. Let's look at this energy that's coming through today in a bit more detail. Talk about it, see how it may be expressing, manifesting in our experience, what perhaps we can expect on the ground. Welcome back to my channel, you guys. Today is Tuesday, July 11th, 7/11/2023. My name is Aubrey. This is your astrological outlook of the day, where we are narrating the shift of the ages on this channel. What we're doing is looking at the energy as it's coming together for us on a day-to-day basis. You know, what might this be producing in terms of results in our 3D experience, but also how are these day-to-day activations over time contributing to this greater overall energetic shift that is transitioning us into the age of Aquarius right now. We're looking at microcosm, talking about that, but also in the context of the macrocosm, of the bird's eye view, of the larger overall plan that is bit by bit by bit coming into fruition. And so that's what we're doing. And if you guys stick with me till the end of this report, I also am we're going to be looking at some tarot cards as well. I've done a collective tarot reading for us because I like to tap the energy field from more than one modality whenever I'm looking at the energy, whenever I'm looking at the blueprint of any given day, just to get some additional perspectives on what's playing out on an energetic level. So if you want to stick around to the end of the video, there may be some messages for you in this tarot reading as well. But let's start with the astrology. Like I said, and if you guys have been following my channel for any period of time, specifically at this point, this past couple of weeks since we hit the full moon in Capricorn, we are in a culminating 2 weeks that is wrapping up a 1.5 year long transit of the nodes of the moon. North node representing destiny, fate, the future, the next path of growth. South node representing the past, karma, what we're graduating from, what we're releasing ourselves from. They've been transiting the signs of Taurus and Scorpio. North node Taurus, South node Scorpio for the past 1.5 years. What this boils down to essentially is a karmic detox process where we have been going through experiences that have been trying to help us detach ourselves from anything that has been toxic to us or anything that has been causing us to perpetuate self-sabotaging patterns or has been keeping us locked in generational or karmic cycles that have been stealing our power or blocking our growth in any type of a way, as the North Node in the sign of Taurus strives to, so with a Uranus there as well, currently in Taurus, awaken us essentially to the truth of our value, the truth of our worth, the truth of our potential, the truth of our purpose, the truth of our resources, and awaken us to those, open our eyes to them, and show us essentially what we can actually build with them once we can see, perceive, and understand their value, and that we do in fact hold them within us. So this past 1.5 years has been a process I've been calling a karmic detox process, where we have really been detaching ourselves from the things that have been stealing our power as we become more aware of our own inherent value, power, and worth within. And this is going to continue actually to accelerate as we have Pluto transit the sign of Aquarius, and this is also going to really be instilling a pretty profound level of self-empowerment among the collective of humanity, being the sign of Aquarius. And we've just got a lot of other stuff going on right now that is also indicating sort of like a personal pursuit in alignment with a greater sense of self-empowerment. And this 1.5-year process that we are in the final 2 weeks of wrapping up and culminating now is giving those results and therefore giving those experiences. Now, that being said, the energy, because like I said, you know, on this channel, yes, we're talking about the astrology as it's happening, but we're talking about astrology as it's happening in the context of how what is happening now is actually playing a larger role, having a ripple effect in terms of this greater overall transition that is going on within all of us, and therefore that is being extrapolated to the greater, larger whole as well. And this energy, as it's coming through today, we have Sun. Let me tell you the aspects first of all. We have Sun exact square Chiron from the signs of Cancer and Aries. Chiron is in Aries. The Sun is currently in the sign of Cancer. We have Mercury entering the sign of Leo today. This is bringing an energetic shift in terms of where our mind is, how we're communicating, what we're more focused on, how we're expressing ourselves, and like the tone of information that's coming through essentially. We had yesterday Mars enter the sign of Virgo, and this is also creating an energetic shift in specifically the way that our energy is operating. So we'll talk more about that today as well. But the thing is, with Mercury and Mars both at 0 degrees right now, this is 2 planets at 0 degrees. 0 degrees is a critical degree in any sign because it represents the 1st degree of the sign, and it really is encompassing all the energy, all the potential held within that particular frequency associated with that sign. So when we have planets at 0 degrees, they're kind of they're packing a powerful punch, okay? And we also right now, as I said, we are in the final days of the transit of the North and the South nodes of the moon, destiny and karma, through Taurus and Scorpio. The nodes transit backwards in the sky, you guys. So instead of them being at 30 degrees or 29 degrees, the last degree of any sign right now, they are at 0 degrees because the nodes move backwards. So we have North and South nodes of the moon, 0 degrees, critical degrees. We've got Mercury and we've got Mars simultaneously, 0 degrees, critical degrees. And of course, 0 degrees is also a significant degree because it's indicating that a shift has taken place. We are at the 1st degree of a new sign. This is introducing a fresh start, a new opportunity, a new lesson, a new experience in some way, a rebirth process underway somehow. And with 4 planets there, this is significant, okay? And both Mercury and Mars at their 0 degrees of their sign, having just moved into their new signs, are forming aspects, significant exact aspects to both the North and the South nodes of the moon. Mercury currently 0 degrees of the sign of Leo. North and the South nodes of the moon, 0 degrees, Taurus and Scorpio. What do Leo and Taurus and Scorpio have in common? They're all fixed signs, you guys. So Mercury's presence at 0 degrees of the sign of Leo is setting up a fixed T-square with Mercury and the nodes of the moon. This is our mind, what we're thinking about, the information that is coming to us, North and the South nodes of the moon, the past and the future, mentally caught in between the past and the future, gaining a greater awareness, or really taking some time to perhaps analyze the past and all that's gone on in that past domain of our experience, and perhaps what we are ready to release, what we are ready to move on from, how the past has defined us or has brought us to the point that we're at now, and what we want to do going forward, what we're feeling called or compelled to move towards, and what do we need to move on from? What must we release ourselves from? What do we need to cut the cords on, to leave in the dust, so that we can go in this new direction? Mercury moving into the sign of Leo. This is personal creative self-expression. This is the heart. This is, feeling alive and the freedom to truly express ourselves, coming from that place, and to experience joy and to, have fun and to play. This is definitely like a lively, creative, playful energy that is going to want us to, you know, any shifts or any changes or any new opportunities or anything that we are moving away from and moving towards right now is really going to be colored by like that which makes us feel alive, that which makes us feel stimulated, that which allows us to, you know, create and to play and to truly present ourselves in alignment with the sense of like personal creative self-expression that seeks to kind of like exude from us when we have Mercury transiting the sign of Leo. We've also got Mars, like I said, in the sign of Virgo, and this is changing the way that we are moving using our energy as well. Mars, 0 degrees of Virgo, is not forming the square aspect. Now, before I get into the aspect Mars is forming to the nodes, I guess I should say this is a T-square that we have with Mercury and Leo, 0 degrees, and the nodes of the moon. So there could definitely be a bit of tension, internalized frustration, a sense of feeling, you know, blocked, or maybe like some mentalized breakdowns or breakthroughs that are coming along with this, like feeling like something can no longer go on. There could also be power struggles that are coming up as well, and just like a need to break free or break away from something could also be sort of coloring or characterizing this mental situation going on with the past and the future, however that's coming together for us today. Now, back to Mars, having just entered the sign of Virgo, Mars at 0 degrees of Virgo, the North Node is at 0 degrees of Taurus. What are Taurus and Virgo? They're both earth signs. So that means that Mars is in a trine aspect to the North Node. Trines facilitate things. Mars is our energy body. Mars and Virgo, this is about rearranging our lifestyle, like redoing our routines and our schedules. This is also about like getting more organized and doing things more efficiently and stuff in a more productive way. But this is also very results oriented energy, and it's also very healing oriented energy. So any efforts that we make right now to heal a dimension of ourselves, or to rearrange, or to fix our lifestyle, or to change something about how we're acting or how we're behaving or how we're using our energy in a way that is accentuating our health or our well-being, or making our lifestyle or our efforts more productive in some type of a way, this is very supported. And not only that, being in the trine to the North Node, this is also very important in facilitating these new changes, this rebirth process, this new phase of growth, this redefinition of ourselves that is working to come to us right now, as we simultaneously go through the process of detaching ourselves from the past and healing from these old wounds and these states of victimhood that have perhaps defined us up until this point in time. So we have some very significant nodal aspects going on as well today. Mercury in the square to the North and the South Node, Mars in the trine to the North Node, sextile to the South Node as well. So a sextile, this is also a facilitating energy. So whatever changes or whatever effort we are putting into healing or growing or reorganizing right now, or, you know, taking better care of ourselves, this is also having the side effect or the consequence of helping us to seamlessly sort of move on from something, release something, detach from something from the past that may have been blocking our growth, blocking our progress up until this point of time. We need to be paying attention to where we're intuitively, the changes that we're feeling intuitively called to make right now in terms of how we're using our energy, our lifestyle, how we're caring for ourselves, like how we're organizing our time and stuff like that, because these changes that we are being called to make are very important in actually setting us up in alignment with the new opportunities that are trying to come to us. And if we follow through with these changes that we are being called to make right now, this is actually what is going to set and ultimately end up having been what set us in this new direction that led to something that was so much more fulfilling and so much more in alignment with like that which makes us feel alive and stuff like that. So important changes coming through right now as we're closing out this 2-week period of time, heading towards the new moon in Cancer on the 17th, on Monday, when the nodes will shift into Libra and Aries, and it will be time to begin our new journey, to begin our rebirth, to really step into the new version of ourselves that we are redefining ourselves by now, and to, you know, head out in this new direction in some area of our lives. 4 planets at 0 degrees, really talking about all of this potential that is before us and all of the opportunities that are likely to be emerging as we head towards this phase of growth and expansion that is coming for us next. So, you know, today is all about, like I said, letting go, moving on from past things that have hurt us. The sun is an exact square to Chiron. The sun is in the sign of Cancer. Cancer has to do with early childhood, the mother, the home, the family, community, our state of it. External security and internal security, external comfort and internal comfort, how we care for ourselves and others. Aries, where Chiron is, this is all about the self. This is all about our ability to be independent. This is all about our relationship to ourselves and how we assert ourselves in the world. Sun squaring Chiron, Cancer and Aries. There could be a sense of emotional vulnerability, internalized vulnerability, a raw energy, wounds being triggered, feeling sort of caught in the past of what has happened to us, perhaps in early childhood, perhaps issues with the home and family, perhaps issues with the mother, but how these initial wounds or initial traumas perhaps have impacted our ability to feel safe, to feel secure within ourselves and within the world, to stand on our own 2 feet, to be independent, to trust ourselves, to feel like we have the ability to assert ourselves and to like stand our ground about things. And, you know, or how these like initial wounds and stuff have impacted our relationship to our own identity, to our own sense of self. And more importantly, what we need to do to heal, to overcome, to move on, and to redefine ourselves, having transcended out of these previous states of victimhood that may have like sort of been our foundation in the past, because we can never grow into our true potential if we are defining ourselves by that which has hurt us, that which has harmed us. Essentially, we are communicating a weakened state to the universe. If we want to come into states of self-mastery and begin really co-creating our experiences with God and universe, we have to find a way to turn our pain, okay, into wisdom, to transmute our pain into power that is like a stepping stone that is actually right now propelling us forward to redefine ourselves in the context of this greater sense of self-empowerment, wisdom, and self-mastery and co-creative potential moving forward. Of course, you know, not everybody's going to perceive it this way. We have Chiron activated. This, you know, creates a tendency for people to really be immersed in their wounds and states of victimhood. People could be feeling, you know, people could be feeling and acting out certain victim complexes today. Although I will say we are being blessed by a Moon-Jupiter conjunction simultaneously. On one hand, Moon-Jupiter in the sign of Taurus. Taurus is the bull, right? This is going to be a very stubborn, willful, determined energy. So some people on one hand could be very fixed and determined in their wounding or their states of victimhood and, you know, their immovability from that, the very fixed nature of that. However, more likely with Jupiter in the conjunction to the moon and Taurus today, and remember the North Node is still in the sign of Taurus, this is more likely going to generate actually an internal sense of optimism and hope and faith and belief in ourselves and in the future and our ability to overcome, our ability to conquer based on the expanded perception of our own internal value, our own internal worth, resources, potential, and what can be done, what can be built, what can be grown, what can be manifested with those that can have this life-changing impact on us. So while some people may really be sort of wallowing in their pity and like the woe is me dimension of things today, I feel that it is honestly more likely that people are ready to step out of how their wounding has defined them in the past, because we are aligning internally with this hope for the potential of the future based on the recognition of the value, worth, and resources, potential within, which again makes all the sense in the world, because this should be the point that we're coming to now after the past year and a half of the karmic detox process associated with the nodal transits through Taurus and Scorpio, which we are in the final culminating days of now. So, it's really all coming together very nicely. And if you feel yourself having wounds triggered today, what we don't want to do is attach to that emotional feeling. What we want to do is allow ourselves to gain an awareness and to use that feeling as sort of like an internal compass to what universe is guiding us at this point in time to need to release, to need to overcome, and what universe is showing us, okay, this is the lower dimensional energy that by no fault of my own has defined my experience. But now I'm at the point where if I want to move on, if I want to activate my destiny, if I want to live a life that is in alignment with the divine vision of me and that which will truly mirror the fulfillment in this experience that I deserve, then I'm no longer the victim. Instead, I'm actually the master of my experience, because I have taken this pain, I have taken this wounding, I have taken this victimhood, and I have extracted every ounce and every drop of wisdom and strength and power that experience elicited within me, and I am going to take those skills that I have acquired and use those as the foundation and the stepping stones of this new version of myself that is emerging now, instead of what had been taken from me in the past. Instead, I'm going to take for myself what I have gained through what has been taken from me previously. That is alchemization. That's internal alchemization. That's transmutation. That is karmic detox, and that is the process that we need to grow and move ourselves forward in this energy at this period of time. So, raw, vulnerable, yes. Caught in the past oriented energy type of day, yes. But we need to turn what we've been through into 4 planets at 0 degrees and the node's about to change signs and a new moon coming up. We need to turn what we've been through into a new opportunity, a fresh start, and a new beginning. And that is what universe is bringing us right now as well. So to truly transcend from these past difficulties and to use them as motivation to grow, to heal, and to move forward. That is the highest octave of the way that we can use this energy today. Now remember, like I said, we also are being blessed by the moon and Jupiter coming into alignment today in the sign of Taurus, and I feel like this is also giving us a bit of an indication of perhaps where we should be gearing our emotional energy, right? The moon rules our emotions. And Jupiter rules wisdom, Jupiter rules truth, Jupiter rules expansion. So if we're going to have some big emotions going on today, you guys, we don't want them to be centered around our states of victimhood. We want them to be centered around the potential for the future based on the value that we have discovered within. We have Jupiter today, also symbolically at 12 degrees of the sign of Taurus, a young couple window shopping. We need to maintain a future focus. We need to keep our eye on the prize. We need to stay emotionally attached to where we're going and where we're growing and who we're becoming next. And though there may be some issues, some more painful issues that we're dealing with today that we're navigating, we can't let the past interfere with what we're creating in our future. And Jupiter at that degree with the moon coming through is reminding us today to stay emotionally connected to our path of growth, to our true value, to truth itself, and to this process of expansion that we are going on right now, and to not allow ourselves to become attached or to be trapped in that which we need to move on from. That's it. Just at this point in time, it's time to move on. So the emotional attachment to the wisdom that we've gained from experiences as opposed to the states of victimhood and everything that perhaps has hurt us and defined us in the past. This will also maybe help keep us a bit grounded today as well, with the moon Jupiter alignment happening in the sign of Taurus, this being a fixed earth sign. So, and as I said, this is also very stubborn, very willful, very determined energy. Taurus can be very fixed. Like I said, it is this fixed sign, fixed earth, very stubborn energy. So, with the moon there, with Jupiter there, this could be a big digging our heels in one way or another. People could be doing that as well. Or with the moon and Jupiter in any circumstances can also just be like huge overblown emotions and overblown emotional responses to things. And also moon and Jupiter together in the sign of Taurus. One thing that we want to watch out for today is overindulging in material and physical pleasures and comforts in order to self-soothe in the context of maybe some of these wounds that are coming up in some type of way, because Jupiter, moon, and Taurus can definitely try to like self-soothe, self-medicate through, for example, overindulging in food or various forms of pleasure and luxury or rest or sleep or buying things as well, retail therapy. So we kind of want to like make sure that we're not taking it over the top in indulging in, you know, physical pleasures or anything like that if we're seeking to sort of like self-medicate or self-soothe in some type of a way today. Let's talk a bit more specifically now about Mercury entering the sign of Leo, the vibe shift that this is likely to bring. Mercury, of course, moving into the sign of the sun. This is a very childlike mental energy, okay? There could also be like an emphasis on children. Chiron rules children, has a lot to do with children. The sun in Cancer, this is early childhood home. The Mercury entering the sign of Leo. There could just be a major emphasis on children, childhood wounding. And you know what we need to do also to like restore innocence or restore purity or restore creative potential as well in some type of a way. But Mercury, the mind, entering the sign of Leo, lively, creative, playful mental energy. You may find yourself feeling more mentally oriented around just like playing games or being creative, performing and being dramatic. This is also a very like Mercury Leo type of vibe, dramatic presentations and communication styles coming through when we have Mercury in the sign of Leo, and Mercury squaring the nodes, thinking about the past, thinking about the future, caught in between, causes and effects, where we've been and where we're going. We also, again, may find ourselves really sort of taking a second look at the past and how the past has impacted the future. And with the square going on between the sun and Chiron, also perhaps how the wounding that we've experienced has detached us from our light, has kept us away from our creativity and our creative potential, has prohibited us from being in alignment with our personal creative self-expression and, you know, feeling joyful and feeling lively and feeling excited and feeling like exuberant and feeling like celebratory about life and stuff like that when we have this Leo Mercury orientation coming through. Now, in the context of Mars having moved in the sign of Virgo, Mercury's position is important in terms of Mars having moved into Virgo, because Virgo is a sign that is ruled by Mercury. So, you know, whenever a planet is transiting a sign, what the ruler of that sign is doing has a lot to do with what the planet in that sign is doing. So Mars in the sign of Virgo, this is a very orderly, practical, organized use of our energy. This is very results oriented, schedules, routines, practices. This is what Mars in Virgo loves to do. It's also about lifestyle. It's about health. It's about education. It's about growing things and what we are producing, what we are becoming. So there is an organized effort to sort of rearrange the way that we are using our energy, the way that we are working, the way that we are sort of organizing our lifestyle, the way that we are taking care of ourselves. And it's for the purpose of allowing our mind to like have more fun or be more joyful or be more authentic in the way that we express ourselves and present ourselves, to like play a little bit more like in the context of just our thought processes generally, to not take things so seriously as well. So using our energy to heal, to grow. And again, Mercury in the sign of Leo, this has a lot also to do with like reinstilling the inner child energy. There's a lot to do with healing the inner child energy related to like fixing things related to childhood, to children, to like education and like what we're learning and how we're understanding things as well. You know, with both of these planets, Mercury and Mars, in the exact aspects to the north and the south nodes of the moon, as well as they're on the very last degree of this karmic detox process playing out over the last year and a half. This is an active release of the past as we open to embrace the future, new opportunities, new potential, rebirth, redefining ourselves in alignment, again, with a more authentic, organic, like original version of ourselves that we are that we are setting free, that we are reuniting with, that we are reacquainting with, that we are reprioritizing, and that we are allowing to sort of, I mean, redefine our perception and our interaction and our experience of reality. This is a paradigm changing time that we are moving through right now, and that is why on this channel I like to look at the energy as it's happening on a day-to-day basis, but it's not, it's like nothing is happening in isolation. So we need to know how this domino knocks over this domino, that knocks over this domino, that knocks over this domino, that creates this whole chain reaction, right? That ultimately leads to this evolution and this shift in frequency, and therefore shift in our perception of our world and of our reality. Shift of the ages, guys, great awakening. It's here, it's upon us, and that's what I have to say today. So Sun Square Chiron, wounds being triggered, but being triggered so that we can finally heal, release, and move on. The hero's journey, karmic detox, self-actualization, like activating our destiny. All of these concepts are so interrelated, and they are all primary components and catalysts to our transition of ages right now. So universe is really working on overdrive, you guys, to get us in line with the times and get this shift of ages underway. That's what I have to say. So that's that. Let's talk about the tarot now for a second. We've got some cards coming out today. A lot of the same themes coming through in terms of the tarot message as it's coming together today. We have the Four of Wands in reverse, followed by the Ace of Wands, the Two of Cups, and the Eight of Cups. On the back of the deck, we've got the Moon, and we have the Ace of Swords. And then actually after that, we have the Four of Pentacles as well, which is also relevant, the way that I feel like this energy is expressing. Okay, so with the Four of Wands in reverse and the Eight of Cups, and then with the Ace of Wands and the Two of Cups in the middle of those two cards, it seems to me like perhaps there is something that we need to release, that we need to walk away from, that it may be something that we have been committed to. It may have been something that brought us a lot of joy in the past. It may have been something that really like was related to us on like a family type level, or really like defined who we felt that we were, that we may have felt very much ingrained, like a part of our personality, or just like a part of our reality, or part of our world generally. There is something that we need to release ourselves from, that we need to walk away from. And being at the Four of Wands, it's like stabilized our reality in one way or another. But why do we need to release ourselves from this? Why do we need to walk away from it? It's because if we do that, not only are we going to gain a tremendous level of clarity over perhaps like illusions or delusions or mysteries or secrets or what we haven't seen or understood in the past, but there is a new opportunity, a new connection, something that is a better match or a better reflection of our true and authentic energy that is really trying to come to us. We have the Ace of Wands here. That is a new beginning. That is like a fire that is being lit and that is burning. That is like a magnetic attraction that is coming through. And then we've got the Two of Cups. This is like the soulmate card. This is like a mirror reflection of our own energy. This is that which fills the voids within us and brings us the states of ultimate fulfillment. So, you know, this is saying somewhere perhaps we have been caught in an illusion, or not been able to see things clearly, or holding on to something that has been blocking us from seeing our truth, which reminds me of the karmic detox process, the South Node in the sign of Scorpio, attaching ourselves to that which is keeping us in the dark, that which is siphoning our power, or causing us to sacrifice aspects of ourselves and of our personal truth in order to feel connected, or to feel validated, or to feel accepted in some type of a way. Any like foundations that we have built on either a platform of deception or on a false presentation, or that we have been detached, or that we have been attached to out of a need for something external, or out of a lack of recognition of our truth that we have been, really clinging to, this is what it's coming to the end of. And that's what the astrology is saying too. That any false pretenses, anything out of alignment with an authentic truth, it can no longer persist. Any foundations or any structures or any worlds or realities or relationships or commitments or whatever that we have built on a foundation that is lacking truth, that is lacking clarity, that is shrouded from, the actual clarity of the situation, it will not sustain. But if we allow ourselves to detach and move away from and move on from that phase of our life, okay, there's this fresh burst of light and life force energy coming through that is bringing the opportunities, is bringing the new starts, is bringing the partners and the connections, and like the like attract like the mirror based resonance that again is helping to align us with that which activates our destiny, activates our potential, but mirrors back to us that which fills us up internally and provides a much greater sense of fulfillment for us in our lives and in our experiences. So that's what we've got in terms of the tarot message as it's coming through today as well. You guys, really, I feel like in alignment with what the astrology is saying. Let's grab one more card now. Synchronicity card. God, Spirit, Universe. What piece of guidance or information can benefit us as we are moving through this period of time? What do we need to know? And it says God's the boss, so we need to trust the process. With the nodal activations going on right now, divine timing, divine intervention, divine alignment, divine assistance, this is all very, very much intertwined with the ongoings right now, with the circumstances that are playing out, and we should not take that for granted. God's the boss. Who then is that faithful and wise steward? Luke 12:42. You must do your job joyously and faithfully in the knowledge that God is your boss. Your subconscious will then respond and promote you and remove obstacles to your success. Have a constructive vision, be faithful to your vision, show respect for authority, and you will be prospered along all lines. And this is also reminding me of the Mars entering Virgo vibes, getting reorganized, being patient, being respectful, having a constructive vision that we are working towards this growth, results, production oriented energy in alignment also with that which brings us joy and that which makes us feel alive and that which is in alignment with our true personal creative self-expression. God's the boss, you guys. We need to tune into our truth. We need to work hard. We need to keep our eye on the prize. We need to follow through, and we need to have respect for ourselves and others through this process, and we'll be prospered along all lines. So that is the message coming through today, you guys. A message from the stars, a message from the cards. That is what I have to say today. I hope you guys liked it. If you guys did like this video, please give me a thumbs up, subscribe to my channel, you guys, share it with your friends if you think that they would enjoy this type of content, be interested in this as well. Leave me comments, you guys. I am so grateful for all of you. I love you guys so much. Thank you so much for being here. If you are having experiences that are in alignment with what I'm talking about in these videos, please let me know in the comment section below, because like I said, I really appreciate and I really value knowing what's going on with you guys in the context of this energy as it's coming through as well. I have a Facebook page, a Facebook group, Instagram, and the social media stuff in my description box below. These whiteboards I post over in my Facebook group, so if you want to know what it says on these whiteboards, that's where you can find that. Again, link in the description box. And come back with me later this week, you guys. I will not have a video out until Friday, but come Friday we will be discussing the energy of the weekend, the last 3-day countdown in our karmic detox process as it culminates over the weekend, and we're going to be prepping for the new moon on Monday the 17th, as well as the nodal shift into Aries and Libra. So we got a lot to talk about, you guys. We are ending a pretty significant period of time here coming up this weekend. I will be here to talk about it. You should be here too. You don't want to miss it. I will see you then, guys. Have a beautiful Tuesday, and until next time, bye.